I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to CTA Review. Today is April 13, Monday, 2026. Hope you had a good day today. So we talked about that, baby. What did we talk about? Did we just not hit it right now? Beautiful. That 50 level. Talked about that. Why did I say the 50 level? Because we had liquidity below that. So which would have been these, it would have been last month's highs. See that last month's high right there? This is March. And then you have the failed lower highs right there. So the 50, so I look above that and say, okay, well, what's an algorithmic level? And that 50 is there. Just to keep it real simple. And we just tagged it, dude. Look, baby. Yo, I mean, is it to the tick? Yeah. Yeah. Did I mention this? Yeah. So I also been talking about a couple ways that this could pan out. I just thought we would already been up here already. But I gave this example of pushing up first. You know, there's an inefficiency with that you already know, right? And then coming back in to wipe out the buyers here that we're creating now, and then maybe push back up if we're bullish. And that was the seasonality of the 15-year. I can't remember. Anyways, point is, I gave this example, and what did they do? Take a look. 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 What did it do? So Friday fizzled out, right? And then if I go put the fib for Friday, just so I know that I could do it now, from last week, right here to here. Let's do the weekly, and then that's why yesterday and Friday's video I was saying, well, it's possibly that we see, oh boy, this thing's pretty large. It's possibly that we see us pull back into the weekly range, and pretty much that's what we did when we opened up. So I'm gonna move this over. I know this is pretty large. You'll see that from the high of the week last week and the low of the week, which is here, right? You'll see that we gap down into where? Into the 20 to 40%. 30% would be right here, right? And then that's where the body's literally, this body right here stopped. But anyways, open is very close to that 30%. And then we got in there and then shot for a new high. Why? Because this is last week's high, plus that agenda that I said to the left. Okay, if it goes up from now on out, it doesn't matter. But that was what we were talking about, right? And then you can see that we swept. So in Friday's trading, what did they do at the end? All on some bullshit. When I made the video here, they almost hit Friday's first imbalance. Okay, right there. Oh shit. They almost tagged it right there in Friday's video, right there. Boom. They're just squeezing the people who are selling there, right? Because that was a nice sell. And then I mentioned, look how they looked like they were going to shoot up. They could have gapped up, I guess, but they gapped down. Why do you think they gapped down? Dude, right there. So in the Friday sell, coming into that 20% would have been down here. They didn't do it on purpose. And then they just gapped down and wiped everybody out. And obviously below that would be what? That pool on the 50. I mean, obviously you can see that, right? I don't have to show it to you on that time frame, but you get my drift, right? So that's what they did. They came and they fucking. Do you think buyers and sellers would fucking gap it down? First of all, how can buyers and sellers gap it down? If the price just fucking opened, how can they do that? Just picture this as a big bearish candle, all right? If even it's a gap, that's how I look at it. But oh, how fucking convenient. So when they swipe, and I talked about this, is because probably a sell model here performing, and they did. Here's your consolidation, and then you get your accumulation here, and then boom, all in one swoop, right? Oh yeah, buyers and sellers pushed it right behind underneath that guy. Why would they do that? Obviously because buyers are in here. B, the liquidity that they've, with support. And then also, you see all these people, they locked this price. It's very difficult for you to be in this trade to begin with. Because you want to know how they know? Because they thought this was that retail resistance. I'm deleting that level now. For now. You don't need it. But for them gapping and then the way they perform this, it's very difficult. Can you have been a part of it? Sure, but they locked it. So they got these guys super dirty, oversold, bounced the fuck up, and then coming right back. There's not a lot of shit on my chart. It's the same levels from this whole time. The only thing new is the new week gap and the opening range gap of today. That's all that's going to be different here. Okay, so you'll see the fire here. We swiped them out. So that's Friday's low. That's Thursday's low, and then that's the PM session or the AM session technically of Wednesday. Okay, and I got Wednesday's first imbalance dragged over. That's it. All right, so we have that, and then you'll see how this maneuvers here on the 1 hour. If you take a look at the 1 hour, you see that we reached the 25%. That's why I still have this level on my chart. We got right to it. So as you see, we came up into the gap, into the bearish imbalance, then we hit this gap. We came back to this gap. We're playing inside. We're bouncing on that. Algorithm says, okay, go back to that next gap up here. Go up, we come up to the gap here. Then we get to, there's a gap right here. And then there's a daily bearish imbalance. And then we hit that. And then we sell off from there. We come right to this gap. And then from this gap, what are we doing? Well, we're going to take the previous day's high out because we are bullish in this case. But you have a liquidity void of no price action. Unfair. If someone was buying here, dude, that's unfair. You can't open the price here, and how you can't even. You got to give them a chance to get out. That's how you know that the mitigation part is going to come back up. But we already have this logic. That's why I was talking about it, and we just hit it to the fucking tick right now, bro. Like what? Okay, so I've been doing this a long time, right? But anyways, pushes through midnight level here, bounces on it a couple times, not even, and then shoots up here. It's a higher high and a higher low. It's a classic buy day. Right, and then in a classic buy day, now I can go into the video. In a classic buy day, you might think this is a lot of shit on the chart, and it is. So just hold on. Don't freak out right now. Just hold on a second, okay? So again, I wanted to make sure that I do this with the daily bearish imbalance here. I'm gonna move it over. I don't understand why. So fucking close to that. Dude, will you fucking click on it already? Oh my God, this is what irks me. Bro, what is the problem? Oh, I locked it. Oh boy. How do I unlock the motherfucker? Hold on a second, dude. I was trying to unlock it because of the stupid coloring of these indicators. It's so stupid. It's okay. Whatever. Let me just move it over, man. All right, so you think it's not, maybe it doesn't hurt your eyes, maybe it does. I don't know. I'm going to put it back, bro. Fuck that. I'm going to put it back, okay? So you can see that the 50% is the point. We pushed up to the 50%, and then we're popping outside. We came back on the 50%. Yes, I have this opening. I have this quadded in eighths, okay, for the daily bearish. I'm going to put it back to quads so it kind of doesn't hurt your eye for a second. All right, so just hold on. Fuck, so annoying. You can see the body, because I don't want to explain all this shit over again, dude. It's like I have to keep it on my chart. So look at the body sitting on the 50% of the daily bearish imbalance, okay? And by the way, when I made the video on Friday saying I'm king of the charts, I'm just having fun, bro. Okay, so it doesn't. Even though I do feel that way, and there are other people on this earth that are king of their own charts as well, just as equivalent. You don't have to take it serious, okay? So it's not that serious. Anyways, man, you can see we bounced right there. Look at that, almost hit it. And that in the upper quadrant was what mattered. They did the same thing initially. Anyway, let me get back to the video. So we pop out. We have Wednesday's first imbalance. I have it dragged out. Okay, and you'll understand this here. Let me go to the 1 minute now. Okay, we come up. So again, it's just the daily bearish. You have this gap here in the gray. Then you have this little gap here. Okay. Then you have the daily bearish up here. This is February 4th. Okay. This is February 4th. And then this one is March 12th. All right, cool. That's all that's on the chart, man. So it shouldn't be complicating. All right, so we come outside and we come deep. We take out liquidity. That's a raid. You already have probably a protected low here. You have algorithmic signatures saying that it's on the 50. You're going to say, it doesn't hit this 25. It doesn't have to. That means it's even bullish. Okay. I'm going to put back the eighths. Okay. Because when I use these eighths, and I use 16ths, but when I use them, it's because they're wide ranges. Okay. They're definitely wide ranges and are needed. So we make a new high up leading into 930. Okay, I'm going to go to the 1 minute chart now. All right. So look at us leading. Here's an imbalance right here. All right, just 846. All right, it is a suspension block, I believe. Yes, 2 blocks on both sides. So it's a powerful. Where is that imbalance sitting on? It's laying on the 50% quadrant, the 50% level of the entire new weekly gap. Body sitting right there. They tag it right there. Then they come up. Here's 930. Pay attention. This is my model. In a classic buy day, it is a dump pump. It's a little miniature fake pump first. Doesn't hit the 50. Retraces back with some drives. 1, 2, 3, maybe, and 4. I usually don't count the first, but you should though. So in this case, you just count it 4. What is it doing? It's pulling back for this easy buying right here. Because what did the price do? It pushes up and it retraces in and then it leaves it. That's easy buying. So it comes back. Does it take out that guy? No. That low? No. Is that frustrating? Possibly. But do they take out that guy? Yes. I talk about this a lot. Right? So there's this high as well. I'm sorry. When we broke through, we took out this high. Okay, so that's 7 o'clock as well. That's the time of New York. Okay, so New York post 7 o'clock has rated to the left. Well, got closer to the previous day, previous day low, which would be Friday. That's that low right there, by the way. So just I'm explaining this. So then 7 o'clock comes down and it raids to the left. So then you turn around and say at 9:30, okay, what damage has been done? Okay, so we pushed up. So a retrace, a simple dump pump will be in place. If it had went up straight, then I would expect the buy, sell, buy from here. But in a classic buying day, I want a classic buy day. I want to see it dump first in some drive, retrace back into like a 15-minute imbalance or something here, and then push up, and then it turns into a buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy. Oh, fuck out of here. The one thing about trading that irks me the most is that they do that shit at the fucking end of the day. They at least gave it during the day here, but like that's I don't care what they say. Oh no, it's the end of them of all the markets and hedge funds, and they're closing the positions and entering and all. Fuck off. That's not what's happening, bro. They're moving that shit on the way they want to move it. So again, back to this conversation. This is my model right here. This is my favorite day, actually, because it'll dump first and then it'll be a buy, sell, buy. Now this is a 50% of the range that I just drew. Another buy. Buy to this, to here, to back to a sell. Bullshit wick that they did here. And so on. I'm going to leave this for a second. If the price had went up and it shot fucking first up very fast, because there's only 2 types of buy, sell, buy days, and there's only 2 types of classic buy days that I look at. It's either going to dump first, then pump, or it's going to just shoot the hell straight up. Can you be involved in momentum? Sure. Can you be back? Can you sell the high and retrace back? Yes. Can you buy the next pullback? Yes. So it's going to do this, or it's going to do what you see today. Beautiful. This was actually beautiful. A little, obviously, it's not easy to determine what you think is going to happen besides buying here. Obviously, you want to seal this. You think they're going to like retrace back and leave that gap open? It's not likely. Only because everyone is selling here. They're constantly still amazed that we're still buying. Well, am I Mr. Bearish saying that that's not going to happen? No, I'm very clear about talking about if it wants to go up, then I know what the fucking targets are, right? So, and I've been saying this shit. I mean, ain't no way that I haven't been calling it from the bottom here, but I understand if it wants to come back down, then we'll come back down. But hey, they're manipulating. So back to the conversation. This imbalance, first imbalance, ends control. So we drive back, 8th level here. All right. So you see the levels here, obviously. Okay. We pull back into this first imbalance. I'm gonna move it over just a hair of Wednesday, and I'm already telling myself this is going to be used as a support. We came to it. Look how the bodies on the 15-minute reject. Okay, they came back down. Okay, hit the 50% of that daily. Then they push through it. Now that it's a new high, I'm looking for a higher low. Retrace back with the drives, and then watch how funky they do this bullshit. They, I'm using this as the first imbalance today, which is the 935. Okay, let me zoom in more. Okay, 935 right there, right? So we come back in here. Okay, we squeeze out breakout people. And then we push up a couple drives. Well, a little 3 there. Come back in, and then this is the real one to squeeze anyone selling from 930. 930 is a predetermined level that is going to not move in time. If it's above it, that means it's buying. If it's below it, that means it's selling. Very simple. Matter of fact, anyways, I won't get into that. So you get a bearish imbalance. We tag that. This wick comes back in. Very good sign of coming back down more. What does it do? It tags that first imbalance again. Boom, comes right back. Then shoots straight down. 50%. Now it's trying to get to this guy. We have a little bearish imbalance. This is most likely going to be an inversion if we shoot through it. That's exactly what it did. Look at this. Okay, so, but where are we? We're in this. So we're using that as support. It leaks, gets to this first imbalance because we're in that imbalance. Look at it. And then we understand the bodies here are, above the lower quadrant on this first imbalance. That's fine. It's a little TMI. But what's happening look on the 15-minute. What's actually happening? There you go. What's happening here? What is that? We're above the 50%. So we not only the 50% of the gap, but the daily bearish imbalance, we're using it as a 1-minute chart. We've came above it, below it. We came above it, below it. Now that we've came above it here, it's not coming back. It's used it. It's inverted. It's inverted and it's going off to the next key levels on the higher time frame. Weekly and gap. This old daily bearish imbalance. Look at these motherfuckers, dude. I swear to God. Okay, right? And you can see it on the lower time frame. We came outside of it, we came back in, and then we came outside of it again. And they're not hitting it on the 50% perfect, and they're not hitting the high of the daily bearish imbalance. It's right there. You can't miss it. They did that on purpose. They don't want to hit it perfectly. But it doesn't. What does that mean if it doesn't? It means it's bullish. As soon as that happens, what do? Choom, gone. See that? How are you going to be involved in this? Either you're already bought, or you're buy stopping, or you're market on order, just pushing buy on the momentum. Then look at this. We come right into the opening range gap here. We understand that 50% is a minimum target, generally speaking. We close back in on the 930, and then this 949 ticks on it. Why was it important to buy earlier? Because I said this in the previous videos, recently even, I think. I like to buy before the 950 by 2 or 3 minutes. What time is this? 948, 949, 950. You see that? So 950, it's like, okay, well, I'm not going to buy up here, right? Let it pull back, and in the swing of it, pulls back, and it takes out the breakout level. Shot right fucking through. And you obviously have this level, right? And then the bodies snap in. There's a lot to talk about because I'm going to get into the into the opening range gap too. But that's the purpose of this understanding. And it's like, okay, dude, fuck off, whatever. Comes right back. If I do a high and a low, 50% is right here. I don't have to even do it. Look at this candle right here. This 953 closes as a reversal candle. What does 954 do? It expands. If it's a swing, candle 1, 2, and 3, the third one expands, and then you expect it to continue. Purpose of what I'm saying is that that's what's happening here. And it's happening where? At this 25% quadrant. Okay? And then I'm going to get into the opening range gap. I know this is a lot. It's on my I know there is. Trust me, I know, and it irks me. I don't even want to do this. But it doesn't bother me right now. You can see that there's the gray weekly gap right there. We were using it all Friday, right? It's still there. Watch how we do it. When we retrace, look to the right. Look to the right. Can I squeeze this? Look at the 1 minute chart. It's probably easier to see it. Fuck. Okay, does that look good? Here, okay, see this? See this? Look to the right. See this 25%? They're nested. We pulled back underneath. Look at the body stopping there. Coming back up to where? Okay. Coming back up to seal, to the tick, the liquidity void, which was the gap. I have a circle here. Why do I have a circle here? Obviously, because we want to seal the opening range gap. The circle's perfect. And then to where? To this high. The high of the gap. Boom, comes right back. Hits this here. And then let me get into this real quick. Before I continue, this bearish imbalance that does raid these lows here is then used immediately crossing over with strength is 8 buy. You can wait for it to finally close and push buy, but it's not fun to do that. Where are you going to put your stop loss? You're going to want to put it here? You that would be eventually chasing price. But if you're confident in your experience, you can also understand that most likely when they shoot like this, that they're not coming back in. So that's and then as soon as it does that, put the fucking stop loss underneath, and then put it in break even immediately. Okay. But that's the case. It comes back in, seals this imbalance, and then you have this bearish imbalance. Hold on. There's a lot to talk about. This bearish imbalance right here closes it above, uses it as a buy, makes a new high, couple of drives. Now that's a high and that's a higher low. I said buy, sell, buy. That's the next buy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it's my sequence that I call it, right? And in this case, this is keeping it simple. We push through it. We use it as an inversion right there. This bearish imbalance, and we go straight through. We tagged at the 8th level. There's the 8th level here of the gap. You have this fucking quarter. Here's 8th as well. Okay, so we come back in. Now, the 50% of the opening range gap. I'm not sure why this is. It needs to be darker. I'm going to make this probably darker. But see how they keep changing the color, dude? It's so stupid. See, that's my problem. There you go. So when I click away and then I come back in, look what it does. It's so stupid. I don't know why it does that, bro. So I'm going to try to keep it on the candle here. This looks cleaner, right? So this pops into the 50% of the opening range gap. Then they pop up. Why do you think they did this slam right here? This 1023. They did it because they know you're buying. They know this model even. They boom raid you. Fucking bitches. Did that on purpose, right? Snaps right back in. Where? So now here I have a bearish imbalance. I have this bullish imbalance. We wick below. You're like, dude, that's a change of structure. Why would you even use these? Because they're still going to be used. They're trying to be incognito. It snaps all the way back inside this bullish imbalance. It's in a sense reclaimed, you can call it. In this case, we also have this bearish imbalance. And you're like, well, what are you doing? Which one is it? Well, you can use both. Here we go with the fucking disappearing on the screen, dude. Oh my God. I don't know why it does that. So you have this, and yes, this came lower, but it hit the 50%. I'm gonna delete this just so it's just so we can understand each other. Really, I want to come right back into this last down candle, right? Because that was what pushed right through. But anyways, I'll explain this in a second. Then you have this bearish imbalance. You have to include the gap right here, okay? And then we push up. We come up, we retrace back, and they fucking manipulation and rate it. Snaps back in. There is a bullish imbalance here. So the bodies are staying inside here the whole time. The bodies are not inside this bearish inversion, okay? And you're thinking, okay, well, is it going to come back in lower into this wick? It could have came to 50%, top 25. What did it do? It ticked the open. I'm sorry, the close. It ticked the close to the right. Also, if you look, I'm going to move this. The bodies is sitting here. We're testing, and then we're coming and we boom right on the top. So I'm going to delete this, but notice the bodies is gone. They're not in there. And then they ticked it right there. This is also all you need, right? So you're using both of those to stay up. This is staying empty. Well, obviously it wasn't empty here, but that's the logic, man. It's very simple. So really, this is a higher low, and you get 2 drives up. Done. Retrace 2 drives back. 1, 2. Stop. That's the higher low. Okay, cool. Now we go up. High. High. Retrace back. That's it. That's it. That's the retrace. The internal retrace from this low to this high to this low structurally, right? But it's all sitting inside it. And now the bodies are in, they're not in the bottom, they're not in the top half. The top half. Okay, the top 25 fucking percent, right? They're gone. You see this? Comes up, retraces back to the 930 and pushes up. Makes a new high. Okay, let me get into, before I even move forward. So I make videos long. Shit, nigga wanna unfollow me. You crazy as fuck. Keep doing all this for free. Alright, I have this 8th. Now I have this quadded, an 8th, right? Opening range gap. I'm starting the 15 minutes here. This is the 1 minute. This is the 5 minute. Yeah, my videos will never be shorter. Now I'm introducing all this stuff here. Excuse me. Oh my God. I'm getting hookups. If I had nothing on the chart, then that would have done that. Hit these consecutive down candles as an order block. The man block. I don't give a fuck what you call it. Okay? And then that's what it's doing. And it's staying inside this imbalance right here from the 846. This is the 1 minute. Right? So, now that I mentioned that, because it's not like it would have been better or nicer if it tagged into here, but it wouldn't, because this also signifies more bullish. So anyways, we opened up, we went to the first fucking quarter in the red. Blue is 8th. We hit that. Boom. What is this? We're coming to Thursday's big ass. Wednesday. Wednesday's big ass opening range. Look to the right. So I just got it extended. Okay, before I even get into that more, you can see that the liquidity was built here, and then they swept it, came close to this 8th. They didn't touch it, and watch it now come into this imbalance by a hair. You see this imbalance right here that's not touched from Tuesday of right here, 1845 or whatever the fuck. Look to the right. Look how we tapped in. That's what they want to do. for balancing purposes. So it comes in, opens, plays around, and then closes on the 25%, comes in. Here's a 16th, by the way. Okay, shoots up, comes in, plays around on that 8th of Wednesdays. It's not even today yet. Comes up to seal what? Oh, this is making these higher lows here on top of that level of fucking the 9:30 of Wednesday opening range gap, right? And then they come and try to squeeze. They come right back down and they try to squeeze these guys underneath here because they put the liquidity there based off of that level. They swept it. After they did that, they came up. Okay, they came up. Let me go into the 1 minute back. They hit this 25% back to that level of Wednesday. Comes back in, and then retraces back. Boom, 9:30 comes in. Okay. At the 16th level, if I put a 16th here, actually there is a 16th level there, isn't there? Okay, so if I put a 32, you're like 32. Yeah, if you divide that again from a 16, it's a 32th. 30, I don't even know. How do you even say it? 30, it's a 32nd. Okay, does that make sense for you? Let me do it. I'm going to split it again. Okay, it's a grid, people. I'm just going to do that there. So now this is a 32th, a 32nd. Whatever. Look at the body. Look how they tap here, and then the bodies are above it. That's my purpose of what I'm trying to share here. It's not really that important, actually. Matter of fact, I'm going to leave that there. Then we shoot straight in, back inside. Okay? And then back from the 9:30, shoot straight to the, look at it. Shoot straight to the 25% quadrant, past the 50. Okay? And then gaps, and then it seals outside. Closes back in, comes all the way back down. All right, and then that candle I was talking about, that's that nice reversal candle, stretched back in here, in this quadrant. All right, and then I know I'm gonna forget something here. Whatever. It's a high probability imbalance in general speaking. And then snaps back, and from this 8th they take off. You see, it takes off. Hits this 25, comes back to the 50 almost here. Okay, and then opens up, plays around, takes off from this 8th, shoots outside, comes back in, almost hitting the 8th, comes outside, comes all the way back. Now let's get back into this conversation. All right, you can see a bullish imbalance right here. If I was to draw, I didn't draw it over there. I was showing you the other things I was doing. But here. Okay, that's what this is doing. So this imbalance that I just drew, which is the 954, it is laying on those quadrants. It's a high probability. So comes to it, tags it, comes outside the gap, boom, on the 8th. Perfectly. Delete this. Okay, comes to the 8th, snaps right back to the 25. Plays around here, dancing on top here, dancing on top there. And then you can see, obviously, very clearly, we pull back in right here on, dude, get the fuck away. That's so annoying. I don't trade review. What are you guys doing, bro? Like, do you need it to be this big? Put it fucking up here or something. Or put it lower. Don't put it right here. Put it lower. It's like, dude, I don't know. It doesn't make sense. And then it's sitting on that 8th, bro. As you can see that, right? And then we've been birding up the rest of the day here. So, and then this is the 5 minute here. You can see that very clearly and all that. And then look at the reversal candle happening there on that 8th. Anyway, so that's the tidbits there. And back into the video here. You're like, this is messy. How do you see all this? Listen, with nothing on the chart, I still saw what I saw as far as the buy, sell, buy. This is a fake move down, dump, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. So here, so you get the low, pushes up, then you get this retracement, 1, 2 drives, retracement, one drive, takes out that high and closes back in. Dirty. Tries to pretend like it's really selling here. Finale. So count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Generally it's 3 to 5. Keeping it simple. The earlier in the day it is, the less it is. Right? And that's just a general gist. Right? What are they doing? They're taking out these two guys right here of this internal little liquidity. The range from here to here, they're going to look for the liquidity in the top half of the 50% and then generally underneath it. Okay. And then it ends up hitting this, see this imbalance that I drew here? It kept the price in there. See that? Look to the right. We tapped it again inside. Right there. Sitting on that 8th level. Look, as soon as it hit the 8th level, look where this candle that's so stupid is 1206. So we've been pumping, right? And then you have a London close retracement, and then lunch is continuing in this case. And then look, it happened right on that 8th level. Dude, that's not fucking random. That's why they can't hide from me. I have all the levels that are algorithmic, period. Do I need all of this? No, but I could still say that this is just that retracement. What do you expect after that? A new high. It's a higher high. So get the 1, 2, 3, 4 buys in that leg. Quick retracement back down. That's it. That's all you're getting. Does it look like 50% fair delivery? Yeah. What is this breakout level? It's coming back to it. Okay? And then fucking, what's going on now? Oh, where do you think it's going now? All right. So we understand each other, right? How can you be a part of this? I just told you how. Now, am I going to delete this here and all this and that? No, because when we come back down, I'm going to want to use them. But at this case, on the right side of the curve, I can use what we're creating now, which is the bullish imbalances. But right now, we're not even looking at that because we're bullish. I mean, this is bullish. Back to bullish in a way. Even though this can be the final straw, they wanted to make sure that at least they took all these weekly highs because they're all lower high, fail high. We've been calling it the whole time, right? So they're just taking it, and then you have with Nvidia gapping down like this, everyone is thinking that it's selling, so they're promoting the idea of selling, and in reality, they're just trapping all those sellers as well. And then they push back up again, right? So it's kind of like, for you to see this price action for a new high, in general cases, that would be back to bullish. But if we're bearish and that possibility situation still happens, and then them saying that they haven't came to an agreement talking, and then they fucking stop talking and all that shit overseas, you shouldn't see this. You should be back down. So seasonality, that's why I kept saying that we are buying from the 8th through the 10th. We are buying through that and then continuing through that until the 14, 15, right? And I said that. I've been talking about that. So this is what you're seeing. And then when I drew this was the example, like, to pull up, come back to wipe the liquidity, and then make the new high. So my drawing is horrible, absolutely, but that was the logic. So we never kept going up. We did go up with this, and then we sold off to take them out, right? And then we made a new high. So that's it. I can't make it any more simple than that for me. And then this was a very obvious target, and they're still going beyond. That's why I still have this inefficiency on my fucking chart. If you take a look at this continuous contract, I didn't draw it out. We're already above that level. That's the level right there. This is February 25th, the gap between those levels, and we're already above it. What does it look like we're going to? Thursday's February 12th, not February 12th, what am I talking about? February's first imbalance, right? Nested with these two levels here. The breakout, remember this breakout of this projections of these bodies? Where's 50%? We're going up. I mean, this shit's strong. Bro, that shit is fucking super manipulative. There's some other things I can mention here, but I can't. So what else was I about to say right now? Fuck, I explained all this. See that? So yeah, I mean, you know, it's like I don't want to muddy the chart for you or nothing. Yeah, I'm gonna bring this guy back out because there's a gap right there too, real quick. And as you can see, where's the gap? It's right there. You can see it, right? You see it? Um, it's in the background. Was it important? No, but we were tagging inside it. We did that on Friday. We tagged inside it, and then now it's above it. If I do 50% of this gap, you think that's going to be tagging it? Yeah. See it? See it? It's on top of it. And then here's the 25%. Boom. Look at the body stopping right there in 1 minute. Playing around like a electricity. Like a current. See it? See it? See it? See it? See it? See it? Boom. Right to 50. Okay. Boom. Now get into this 25. I told y'all about this motherfucker. And people think I'm crazy for having this shit up here. Yo, while we were all the way coming down here, I still had this on the chart. Why? I always mark my inefficiencies. Always. Because the algorithm is going to say, oh, we messed up. We'll come back to that, though. Okay, so there you go. I mean, you can't make that up. Does this look cleaner to you now? I just moved everything, and you just had that. You see that? Did you need the eighth here? Well, the eighth was really nice. Here, as far as like the breakout area, and then bouncing right there. But I don't want to make this too complicating for you. But at the same time, I'm sorry if it is, because this is trading and it is what it is. If you can't handle this, don't be a trader, dude. It is that simple, bro. I usually have it looking like this, right? So, which I'm going to leave now. But yeah, going back to this, the purpose is that while I'm coming up here, I'm using these tools, bearish tools now to, or higher time frame tools to climb up and to keep going up. And did this bearish imbalance sell from it initially? Yes. Did we initially sell from it first? Yes. Now I'm using those same levels and I'm using it as support to buy up. In this case down here, right? I'm totally beating a dead horse. 42 minutes. Jesus. What was I gonna say here? So obviously you see VIX pushing down. We had this big gap here. So because of that gap, it's also doing the same thing. It's coming to seal that as well. And then they're manipulating right here, keeping the price down like that. All right. But that's that. I didn't need any of this. Just so you know. You know I have told you about this 50% level down here. Probably. Did I? Maybe I did. Yeah, well, I drew it. And then once I made a video here, I talked about the next thing being here. Yeah, for sure. When we were like here, when I made this video here, for sure. I know I said that. That was Thursday, right? No, Thursday? I thought that was Wednesday. This was Friday. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. I mean, so without anything on the chart, that was all I needed. That was all I needed. If you take away even the daily bearish imbalance, look at the high. That's last month's high. See on my daily chart, you'll see the big darker dotted lines right there. That's the monthly level. The weekly level you'll see is why don't I have it on here? Oh. Here? Yeah. But why don't I have because that when I made this video, wait a minute. That was Monday here. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Am I tripping here? This was Friday I made this video, right? Yeah. Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. Yeah, because I bought here, from here, up here. So this was Monday. Why is this not showing? Oh, because this wasn't the previous week yet. This was the previous week. Sorry. You'll see it. I'm slow, dude. I don't know why. So you see this line here. You'll see that this is the last week's low, and then this is the current week's high right there. You see it right here? Current week's high, which obviously is there. So, also, before I forget, that the average daily range, this was very important in this analysis. I'm just tired of making videos, I think. When we were down here, um, look what the low is here. 24,000, let's just say 900. 24,900. The average daily range was 480, is what they said. 480. So where's 480? Above 24,900 plus 480 above. Where would that be? That would be 24,380, right? So when we're here and we're down here, where's 380? Right here. Ooh, what's to the left? What's to the left? Around that. The previous day high. See that? And what would that entail? That would entail coming to the fucking the level I told you guys about. I talked about this already. I've been talking about it, so cool, man. There you go. You see it executing, right? So this doesn't look hard, does it, for you? And then we got some projections here. This -3.5 from that projection there. God, man, I need to make it brighter. And then the -2 from me projecting from here to here, because this was kind of like that last push down before we bought up. Besides that one, and then you could see the -2 here. So, and what's coupled with that? The inefficiency, and it looks like it's going right to it. I mean, you can't say it's not. But I'm gonna put my levels back, man, because I'm good. Doesn't bother me. I just don't want to fucking redraw and explain shit, man. It's just, this is why I want to trade in peace and not show trades. And oh my god, it's just like, it's so annoying. I'm telling you where the price is going, bro. For anyone says anything. So again, that's what this fuckery is. Rush right down quick to take them out. Buyers, sellers didn't do that. Trying to induce the idea that it's really selling. We're already on an oversold here. Came right back to overbought here, and it's just hunting that shit, bro. It's, they're that's it. So VIX pushing down, helping the understanding. Dollar also coming down, very clear. I talked about this was very scary here, not scary, but I mean alarming for the asset. And then to come deeper into here, it's obviously that's what it's doing. That's pushing us back up. Let's continue here. You also had a nice divergence here with the lower lows here with NAS, and then that was us pushing back down, remember? And then you had a nice higher low at S&P and Dow, and that pushed us straight the fuck up, dude. So that was the deciding factor as well. We pushed up. Then when we came here, Dow made a lower low here from this low of this 1020. They took out that 1020 low, and then we had higher lows here. So, and that's that. Push the hell straight up, and then take a look at Dow coming back into this breakout and balance a little bit here, swiping that liquidity, nice bull flag, taking that shit out. Breakout area here, and then coming into this imbalance upper quadrant, and then sealing up the gap here and pushing up. So this is where they are, and do they want to take this guy out? The average weekly range, by the way, is, I'm going to try to say it every week on Monday. It's 1,170 points. So right now we have accomplished what? This is, I was checking for now. It's not this, but let me move forward, man, so I don't fucking. And also, we had all these gaps here on the weekly chart, remember? And then we're now putting bodies on it, and that's very common too. And then you can see here that we have an also nice dump and pump. So dump, pump, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. This is why I don't trade Dow, because the buy sell buy is what I'm just showing you, which is just simple higher high and higher low. I'm not a genius for that. I coined it that way, but it doesn't mean no one else sees higher highs and higher lows. Okay, I'm not, but hey, whatever. This is why I stopped trading Dow, because this higher low right here makes a new high and it comes back. Look. It's fucking equal, dude. That shit's that shit sucks, dude. Like, this is why I trade Dow. That's why I don't trade Dow. Period. All right, hits the 50, plays around, keeps going up, man. Whatever, birdieing up. See, nice. See how it birdies up? Every pullback is a buy, literally. So, because how do I know this? Because the beginner trader of me, I tried to sell every single one of these, right? Every single one of these, instead of saying, "Oh, I'm gonna buy every single one of these." And your muscle memory kicks in. And you say, "Okay, don't be a fucking degenerate. All right, stop." And then you become, and you realize, oh, buy. Very simple. Go the other way. Oh, remember, it's higher lows. And the whole game changes for you when you stick to that. It's amazing how simple that is. All right, I hope that helps for you. Boy, god damn, this shit here look crazy. So, okay, gap down. Remember, we don't have a bearish body here. Okay, only bullish. Shows me that we're coming back. Look where they're running to. All right, sweeping these guys here. Now they're coming. This is the previous month's high for them, March. I have it already on these charts levels, right? So that's what your eye wants to draw to initially. Okay, what's the weekly agenda? Well, me starting the day is already looking for that. Again, dump pump, little retracement, and it's a very, very small retracement. And that's it. That's just the way they did it. And higher low. See it? 50% gone. Fuck, my wife's already home. I've made this video long. And then let's see what else I need to say. I was about to say something. Yeah, so the weekly, look at the bodies. No bodies there. Now we have bullish bodies there. Now, what was I gonna say here? So yeah, I changed this to an eighth grid here. You can see it hitting the 25. Perfect here. And then there's some other things I want to share with you, but I'm afraid to share it. I don't even want to put it on the internet. No one has ever put it on the internet before, but if you've listened this long, you're going to get a little treat right now, just for you, for the person who's been constantly listening and who is still listening. If you go and take the contract months of when they open, this says March 17. Go to March 17 is, they always say, March 17 is right here. It's this candle right here. That's a Tuesday. But they say that the fucking contracts end every Friday, every third Friday of that quarter, of the month, of that month, of which in this case, March. So if it ended Friday, what's the opening price of the new contract? It's Monday. It's this one. Monday the 16th. The open of fucking Monday the 16th is the real open of the continuous contract for this contract. This contract that we're in now. Okay? If you take that level and you go look at the previous contract open, in this case, here they say it's the 16th, Tuesday. It's not a fucking Tuesday. It's Monday. This level right here. See this? This is Monday. Where's the open? Right here. If you take this open to this open and you eighth it like this, quad it and eighth it like this, I want you to take those levels and I want you to project them down and up. And you'll see some of the craziest shit you ever heard in your life. I'm going to do this once. What am I doing here? Big purple line is the contract. And then I take this, here it is. This is December 15th to March 16th. I take that level and then I quad it. And then it's a grid. I place this on my chart as the future grid or current grid. I make a grid out of this grid. All right, I don't know their perfect grid, but this is probably it. You'll never see anyone on the internet talk about this. What is today? Today's April 13th, Monday. And I'm showing this. No one on the internet, I don't care who they are, has ever taught this. I'm teaching it to you now. You can see it from that level to that level. I have it quadded here. And then I take that same range, because this is a time-based range. This is like the quarters in the year, but I'm using the contracts because they're not fucking using the actual quarters in the month and in the year. They wouldn't just say April 1st. That's why they do these contracts. So if that's the case, the contracts, when they start, it is based off of time. That open to the open, not close, open to open. And I'm taking that range. And as you can see, this example, from this to this, I have it right here. I have it quadded. Okay? And then below it, I take that same quad, same level. I take this fib and I move it down here. And then that would be right here. That would be the end of that one. That would be one standard deviation. Then I add another one here. Do you see what's happening here? Boom, comes to the eighth. Shoots all the way back to this eighth. This is a daily chart. Shoots back and sweeps above. Why? Because they're using these continuous contract levels, just like this one over here. If you look at September 15, when it opens, shoot straight off. Why do you think they were slamming the price down here and fucking they swept this level? Because people are buying at that level and they're sweeping it. You should be getting goosebumps. What I'm showing right here is no one's ever going to share with you. This is for the person who's constantly watching and thinks my videos are long. And if you miss this, I'm never bringing this probably shit up again. Okay, look how it came to this. 25, hit the eighth, opens, shoots up. Look at it, sweeps the high of that level, of the open, of the current gap, of the current fucking contract, shoots back down to this eighth, snaps back in. All right, plays around right here. You can even do 16ths in here. I don't put the 16ths on here. I just physically hover my mouse over it where 50% is. Sometimes I put the 16th in just to take a look at it. Snaps back in. Take a look, just so you know. Take a look, take a look, take a look. We snap back into this almost eighth. We snap back in here. This is just the 7th of Tuesday. Closes on that level. Gaps. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Gaps right to the 25%. But slams back to the eighth. Then shoots to where? To the previous contract fucking open. Why? Because we were selling from there. If the price is above it, it's buying. If it's below it, that means it's selling. That's just like the 930 that I gave you in this example earlier. If the 930 level is across your screen, isn't it very fucking obvious if it's going above it, it's buying, or if it is above it, it's buying? Oh, I'm using the same thing with the contract opens, right? Where did we go to today? Look, okay, forget all this other shit. Look at this. Look at today. We gapped down from yesterday. Pay attention. This is Friday. And Friday's sitting at that eighth. What did I do here? I took that level. I took those levels and I quadded it here. Then I added another one on top. It's just sitting on top. That means this is one standard deviation up. Okay, this is the range. So this is the origin, whatever, of this level. But above here, this would be one standard deviation. At the 50%, this would be 0.5 standard deviation. At this level here, this is 0.25. It's a quarter, right? And what's in between a quarter and a 50%? Look where the fucking level is now. You like that? But look when we gapped on Friday. Where did we gap to? Look what the open is, buddy. The open's laying on that 25%. and we shot to this eighth. Oh, yeah. You go do the research. But just for the tidbit, so like for example here, right? This level here, which is June 16, 25, and this is September 15. I have that marked. I'm using that information after the fact, obviously, because once this gets created, I have that level. And then you see in current price, after this contract starts going, I use that mainly. So you can see me quadding it here, and then we only come underneath a little bit, but then we stay above it the whole time. So that's what I'm using here to quad. Right? And I'm almost even calling, I can show you even the high of the year. I even showed you the high of this year here. Look at this. So when the price action is in this contract, delineated by obviously the purple, anything in between here, I'm using from there to there, because now this is current price action. So I quad it and I put it on top. Look how you can see the high of the year, which is what? Which is January 28th. See that? Look at that, bruh. Yeah, wait till you go look at it. But like I'm saying, you want to use. So like, for example, this price action here, I use this open and this open, and I quadded it. And then I put it right to this area. So while there's nothing to the right of the chart here, I have this open, and I have this open, and I quad it. Obviously, gradient. I grade it. That's what I should say. Not quad it. Grading it, right? And then I put that gradient in present price action here. So while it opens, sweeps below, because it's a fucking level of buying. And then you see it coming around, playing. Boom, boom, 50. Boom, 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 boom. Go do the research on your own. What I've shared with you is just the epitome of creating a grid in the background. This is the daily. Wait till you look at it on a fucking 4 hour, 1 hour, 5 minute, etc. Now, you have to allow a 10 to 20 point, a 3 to 20 point range of up or down and all that from these levels, because it's a daily chart we're dealing with here, right? So don't forget that. You'll see that in your back testing. But yeah, man. April 13th, I put this video out. I think, is there anything else I need to mention here? It's a 1 hour video. Looking at the seasonality here, we are approaching well, there you go. Letting this fucking market still stay open. There's your 25. So, now that we're coming up again, seasonality for the 30 year is out the picture. It doesn't look like 30 year at all, just so you know. So 5 year and 15 year are what really look good here. And then, as you can see, everything else I still drew is still pretty much accurate. And, the 5 year is leading up into like the 15th, 16th. So we're pretty much buying for Monday, Tuesday, and then it comes back down, between like 15 and the 20th on the 5 year. So let's just keep trying to keep it simple. Let's just say they, I don't know, whatever. There might be an even divergence here. We do this and then we sharply come back to and the 5 year is like really bearish, where it sells off into May. Okay. And it's like, it's coming back down. All right. And then we buy back up to be bullish. All right. So that would be like the 5 year. The 15 year is we melt up like constantly. Like we just keep melting up, dude. It's crazy. So where are we at right now? Yeah, we from now we just like it's small pullbacks. Small pullbacks. Here comes the 10th now, or the 10th. We're going into the last 10 days of the month, and we're just doing this. And that, like, it just trickles like that for the rest of the month, slowly melting up here. And that would be, then we get the big sell off. They all agree that they make a fake pump and then sell off in May. Okay. All right. So, you might think I'm just talking. Okay. I'm not normally wrong, am I? And then if it's the 30-year and the shit hits the fucking fan or something crazy, I don't even know how we can even come back to being low. I told people, not told people, but said that we possibly could be in um said that we looked kind of like this situation here where we we're pulling back like this big strong move, and then to push back down. But I'm telling you something, man, that shit does not look the same, dude. We're kind of beyond, we're kind of past that, bro. And if it does, it's got to be like this, where it's like full blown candle like this. We're up here. All right, we're getting close to that first imbalance of you keep getting higher, isn't it? Get closer, and then we just roll over. I mean, we would have to, like, if you look at this, we would have to roll over hardcore. Like, you'd have to see consistent bearish days from here. So is Monday the high of the week, and then obviously not Tuesday would be the high of the week, and then Wednesday we roll over. That would be, I'm only showing you for the last example, where you're fucking really bearish, and it's just like, fuck, dude. I mean, I just don't know how we can come all the way back down. That would be fucking insane, unless it was back to 22 and it just took a very long time. I'm not even going to draw this shit. Let me just go back to and then it's just like, okay, we got that push up, but then you start to see this shit, right? And it takes a whole year to do it and all that kind of stuff. I just know they're really rushing to get in this. So it's like, I'm not going to fight it, man. The seasonality shows that this is bullish, and we'll fly with it. And then I expect to sell off, around the 16th, if it's the 5-year. And then if it's not, then I expect to sell off in the first week of May. And I've done enough, man. I'm tired. You guys take care. God bless.